Hi guys, it's Layla. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be discussing one of the key things when it comes to your healthy hair care, one of the key things when it comes to reaching your optimal growth potential, which is protein. And I feel like protein has pretty much become the black sheep of the natural hair community, whereas when you're relaxed, in the relaxed communities, there's a lot more conversations around building strength and protein and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. Let's jump right in. There are 4 things you need in order to avoid breakage, in order to avoid shedding, in order to avoid dull hair, hair that easily breaks, and just generally hair that looks crazy. The first 2 are flexibility and elasticity, and you get both of these from moisture, okay? The next 2 things you need are strength and structure, and you get these 2 from protein. Having your hair in the best possible state means finding a balance between these 2, and it's not always easy because it's not a 50-50 balance. It's never 50-50, and it varies from person to person and regimen to regimen. If you haven't read it yet, then I definitely recommend that you guys check out The Science of Black Hair Care by Audrey Davis Siva-Sophie, and it looks like this right here. I've teamed up with Audible to give you guys 30-day free trial membership, so you can head over there. Your membership comes with 1 download a month, which can be this book, which I highly recommend that you guys read. Chapter 6 is basically covering everything that I'm going to go through, and of course in depth for you guys, so check it out. And even if you don't continue your membership, you get to keep the book. And if you already have this book, you can just head over there and browse through the unmatched library of audiobooks, entertainment, comedy, you name it. Hydro fatigue is basically the result of constant and excessive swelling of the hair cuticle from water entering, and then of course the contracting of the cuticle as that water leaves. If this happens for a prolonged excessive amount of time, the hair becomes weaker, it becomes softer, and it loses its elasticity and it loses its structure, and this leads to breakage. Okay, so not enough moisture is breakage, too much moisture is also breakage. The best way basically to tell if your hair is overly moisturized or if your hair has hydro fatigue is when your hair is in its wet state. When your hair is wet, that is when it is most fragile. So in its fragile state, crazy, that's the best time for you to work out whether it's strong or weak, okay? So the first one is the most obvious one, which is limit the amount of time that your hair is drenched in water. So for example, like I said, deep conditioning overnight. You don't need to deep conditioning for 6 hours because you have errands to run. All of that, I mean, in isolation is fine. Over time, you are fatiguing your cuticles, you're fatiguing your strands. The next great thing that you can do to prevent this is pre-pooing, but not just any type of pre-pooing. Pre-pooing with oils such as coconut, olive, avocado. Their molecules are small enough to actually penetrate the hair shaft, and what they do is they attach themselves to the protein structure, which helps to reduce the amount of swelling that happens. My final tip for you guys is to utilize pH balanced products. This will help to close the cuticles, so help the cuticles lay flat, which in turn will help combat overly porous hair. This video is coming to you from via personal experience. So like I said, that is what I'm dealing with right now. When my hair's wet, it's very much like mushy, it's just too elasticy, and it just, you know, it's just not being its best. It's not in its best condition. Back in the day, what I used to love using for my protein treatments was Afro G's 2-minute reconstructor, which is really good. I think I might repurchase that actually. But another thing I like to do is just to buy some pure hydrolyzed wheat protein. And what I would do is I would put like 2 teaspoons in my favorite moisturizing conditioner, which would kind of give me the best of both worlds. So that's 2 alternatives for you guys. I would be happy to do a video on both. However, I don't want protein overload because that in itself is a whole other ball game. You know, if you have too much protein, it's much harder to correct than if you have too much moisture. When protein attaches itself to the hair shaft, it takes a much longer time for those bonds to break up again and for it to kind of dissolve away. Whereas when you don't have enough moisture, you can just throw in some protein to fix it. So yeah, I hope you guys find this video helpful. Once again, please read The Science of Black Hair. It's such a great book. And you can get it on your 30-day free trial at audible.com/Neffy Frofro. Bye guys.